Okay, dear students, this is Mustafa Mirchawala, your SBR trainer, and welcome to the SBR Revision Day for June 2023 attempt. Okay, now, first of all, the objective of the session. I know you guys are doing a lot of hard work. You guys have all the lectures, even you have all the past papers, I would say, all the past papers, many past papers since 2018 till now, all past papers you have, okay, and very detailed recording you have available, you have marking facility available, everything is available. But the main thing, the main issue with this paper is the confidence. Confidence is the key. There are many students, even I just saw a comment, they say that there is a big fear of this paper, what will happen. So first of all, as I said many times in the class, this fear is mandatory for this paper, even for the whole professional series of ACCA, because if there would be no fear and if it would be very easy, then a watchman can even do this ACCA. So there should be a difference between a chartered accountant, qualified chartered accountant, and a common man. That's why it's technical. And as you know, they are preparing you for real life. They are preparing you for real life. Okay. And in real life, you daily find new things, daily new challenges. You have seen daily changes. There is a war, new updates, geopolitical issues, political differences, bans, import bans, lot of things are there, right? Climate change, so floods. So when there is a constant change, that's why ACCA examiner prepares you for that change. Even you guys know that from next attempt, there will be a slight change in the format of SBR for just question number 1. And till now, what they ask in question number 1, they just ask, why is this happening? How goodwill is calculated? Why it is being calculated? What are the impacts? You need to write normally in theory in question number 1 as well. So little calculation and theory. But now they are making it more closer to practical life. In June, there is no change. This attempt is same. I'm talking about the September attempt. Listen. So now what they will give you, in practical life, everything is done on software, and which is very close to spreadsheets, right? So they will give you a ready-made spreadsheet in the solution. In the solution, they give you a ready-made income statement or ready-made cash flow, or they will give you a ready-made SOFP and some of the unadjusted transaction in the question. So you need to adjust through double entry in that financial statement, right? Okay. So, and this is very common in practical life, because in practical life, software makes everything like income statement, everything. But later on at the year end, when the accountant finds certain transactions, so accountant adjusts it. So this is a very practical work. And ACCA examiner thinks that this should be part of your course. So that's why they are bringing this change. But again, this thing which I just told you, that Excel thing or what spreadsheet thing, will be like 12 to 14 marks of your paper. Again, the rest of the paper is theoretical discussion. Okay. Now, for your motivation, again, we show you the results just for your motivation. Believe me, whatever fear you have, the same fear they had with the last attempt students. See, when these guys were giving the paper, they had the same fear. Okay, so you can see their results. And I always say my goal is 50 marks. For me, 50 mark is everything. Rest all is the marketing campaign. Rest all 70s, 80s, these all are marketing campaign. You just need to cross 50 marks. And if to be very honest, now ACCA is not your end, it's a part of your journey. ACCA, don't consider it as an end. It's a part of your journey. You have to travel a lot now, because artificial intelligence is there. AI has changed everything. AI has changed everything. I'm telling you. Means you and me, including me as well. We all need to update. We all need to update. Even, I'm a vlogger. I make certain development videos. So recently I got a call last week. I got a call from Australia, one of my follower, and he's also my friend, very nice guy. So he told me that you need to change your videos now, because just the IFRS video is not enough now. He said, we as a professionals, we need to know how this IFRS will be applied in the software, real life software. Now teach this thing. So he guided me, he openly gave the feedback. He said, if you want to sustain in long term with this thing, you need to update with this pattern, that like the software things. So same is the case with you guys. ACCA is not your end now. It's a journey. It's like your first or second step, I would say. After this, you need to learn many software. You need to learn many real life courses, like, you all have done taxation paper. So you can earn through your taxation paper by updating one thing more, and that is return filing, income tax return filing. This is going very good. And learn this income tax return filing for a developed nation like UK, US, Australia. And then wherever you are in India, Pakistan, Nepal, anywhere, Bangladesh, you can provide these services, and you can have a very good pay, even better pay than in your whatever you earn in your country, right? So when these students can score these marks, you can also. So don't take tension, and don't take attitude of this paper. I would say, don't take attitude of this paper. Just treat it's ordinary. And this is the rule of life. Whenever you take attitude of somebody, that thing will come in your mind, stay in your mind. Okay. When I used to be a student, I remember I always treated ACCA as a BCom. I always treated ACCA as a BCom. And believe me, many papers I cleared by just studying 15 days studies or 20 days studies. So it's all about, it's a mind game. It's a mind game. Okay. And this thing is very natural that if you say it's very difficult, yes, it is difficult. It's a practical paper, but it has a very good pass rate as well. Go and check the global pass rate, or if you don't have, ask me, I'll send you the pic. It has got the highest pass rate among all professional paper, like 50%, 51, 52%. And this I'm talking about global. My personal pass rate is always better than the global pass rate. ACCA guys shares with me, ACCA UK even share with all teachers what's your pass rate. You guys know that, because when you submit your exam fees, exam entry, finally you need to write the name of the institute. So when you write the name of the institute, they compile the result. They compile the result and they send us. Even that's why, I sometimes send you messages to study, because your result is my performance. Your result is my reputation, my performance. Okay. So don't worry about it. These are all normal guys. Even if I say one thing, you will be shocked. There are certain high scorer in the list. They didn't take the normal class. They just watched the YouTube lectures and they scored these scores, YouTube lectures. And they called me and they thanked me. That's because just of your YouTube lectures, we got this marks. So when they can do with the YouTube, you guys are taking full-time lectures. So don't worry about it. Now, I have also posted many, one thing I would like to say, we have created a WhatsApp group for you guys so that we can send you updates of many things in these days, right? Many useful lectures and many useful stuff for you, articles and all. So the the link of that WhatsApp group is in the chat box. You guys can join that WhatsApp group. Okay. Do join the WhatsApp group. The link is in the chat box. Now, I have highlighted certain current issue topics, although now before 2018, when it was an old P2 paper, there was a 25 marks current issue question. But now after 2018, the new SBR paper, it contains maximum 10 marks, 8 to 10 marks of current issue, or even, to be very honest, sometimes you can't even recognize that where is the current issue. Many students give this feedback, sir, we wouldn't be able to recognize the current issue. They just do discussion and all. So still, the relevant articles on ACCAGlobal.com are the most important for current issue. That's the first message. And I have made many short videos like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 25 minutes for topic wise. See, you can all of you can all watch these on my YouTube channel as well, or they are included in my LMS as well. But in YouTube, I have done proper cutting, short cuttings. So there is one video like, see the screen, farm animals compared with football clubs. This is there, right? Then accounting for barter trade. This is a new video I have posted, but it's in Hindi language. It's not in English language. This only one, barter trade. This is very good. IFRS 15, a quick 5 minutes concept. Then there is a criticism on IFRS 3. What is wrong with IFRS 3? This is already on my YouTube channel, both languages. Sustainability reporting is there. Crowdfunding is there, like 20-25 minutes. Then variable lease payments in IFRS 16, short video. Business combination control cases. Integrated reporting discussed with intangible assets. Climate change, hot topic. Climate change and natural disasters, very hot topic. You know, already it has been tested. Already it has been tested, but again I would say this is important. Then onerous contract with IFRS 16. Even there is an article on this current issue on ACCAGlobal.com. But there are students who can't understand the article. Then cryptocurrency, ICO already came and covered with this past paper is already there. I have already solved it. So there are many resources. So you can do this as well as also read the articles. Even I have covered many articles, like the disclosure article I have already covered in my classes. It's already included in my LMS. That's also you can watch. Okay. So if you do these things, management commentary is there. So if you do these things, these are enough. These are more than enough. Okay. With your confidence. Okay. So today we are going to do a latest past paper, like very latest attempt. And that is about December 2022 attempt of question number 2. Question number 1 I have already covered it. It's already included in your LMS and as well as on the YouTube. So this is the question, and the objective again I would say is the confidence. Gaining the confidence is the objective. Okay. In this question we'll be touching ethics, the most easiest area. Ethics is the most scoring area. Normally examiner has written articles on it that you should score, if it is a 10 marks or 12 marks, you can easily score like 80% marks in ethics area. So this area helps you to cross the border of 50 marks, right? Okay. And second thing which is tested in this question is IFRS 15, sorry. And IFRS 15, they have tested stage 2 and stage 5. Stage 2 and stage 5. Okay. In stage 2, hope you remember, in stage 2, you need to identify whether the whole contract is a single performance obligation or there are multiple performance obligations, right? Okay. And for that thing, hope you remember, two conditions you have discussed. I'm just writing the shortcut of that. Remember this dialogue. There will be different performance obligation if these performance obligations are distinct, and they are distinct if these two conditions are satisfied. If these two conditions are satisfied, one condition is benefited separately. Like, for example, teaching plus books. Now, let us say if somebody is coming to me, and I'm talking about the physical books. There was a time back in 2009, this was the policy of our institute. At that time, there were only physical classes. So when students used to come to us, we used to provide them books, physical books, as well as the teaching services. So now these two are distinct. distinct performance obligation. They are distinct performance obligation, and these two meets these two conditions as well. See these two conditions as well. First of all, in the contract, we used to specify that we will provide you separate books and we will provide you separate teaching. So these two are supplied separately. And yes, it is written in the contract. It is identified in the contract in clear terms. First thing. Number two, benefited separately. Now use your brain. Student who is going to take the admission or who is studying with us, they used to take benefits from both of them separately. Yes, because there are students in this world, many students, they can only study through the books. Yes, if you read the book properly, if you solve the book, and if you read the study text, there are students who do self-study. So yes, the books gives you benefit, separate benefit, or if you combine books with something, still you get the benefit. So benefited separately and supplied separately. So that's why these two are separate performance obligation, teaching and books. And yes, wait, now normally it was our policy, we used to give books on the same day, on the first day of admission. Okay, so books, the control of the books are transferred on the first day. So we used to recognize the revenue of book immediately. Okay, point in time. But teaching services, teaching services are given gradually. So that's over time. Okay, I hope you remember this example. It's just for recalling I have given you. So listen to me. The performance obligations, the whatever you are giving, are treated as distinct if you meet these two conditions. If you meet these two conditions, if you meet these two conditions. But if you don't meet these two conditions, that means they are not distinct. And then you need to combine it as a single performance obligation. Then you need to combine it, or there is a word, hope you have read the book or hope you have read the past paper or kit. Bundle, there is a word. Are you getting? One more thing. Sometimes it also happens that you are providing multiple things, although you are providing multiple things to customer, but they are not separately identifiable. They are not separately identifiable. Listen to me very carefully. In that case also, they are treated as one. This is also the interpretation of IFRS for this stage. The first thing I have told you, which is the basic rule, that you need to meet these two conditions. If you can't meet these two conditions, then they are not distinct. Okay, then they are not distinct at all, and then you need to consider that one. Second thing, what I have told you, although you are providing multiple things, please don't sleep, to customer, but they are not separately identifiable. Again, they are considered as single. And the third point, don't sleep. Why I'm saying all these things? Because in SBR, you need to work like a court case. You have seen lawyers, how they start talking, how they build up the case gradually. Same is the pattern of the past paper. You have to give evidences, you have to gather evidences, and you have to create your building, and then you give the conclusion. This is the way. Third thing is, sometimes, although you are providing multiple things, but they are highly interrelated and interdependent. See this word, inter and interdependent. They are highly interlinked or interrelated or interdependent. That means they can give you combined benefit, not separate benefit. In that case, again, the whole transaction is treated as one single performance obligation. Okay, so these 3 points I have told you, and on the basis of these 3 points, we will discuss this whole IFRS issue of this question. Okay, let me repeat the last point. The last point is, although somebody asked for repetition, although we are giving multiple things, but they are extremely connected to each other. That means you can't enjoy the benefit of the second part without the first part. So they are linked. That means, in other words, they are not benefited separately. That means this condition is not met. This condition is not met. So again, in that case, the whole transaction is single performance obligation. Okay. So this is how we'll build our case. So this is about stage 2. And what is a stage 5? Stage 5, my dear students, my respected students, stage 5 is book revenue. So there are two major points in book revenue. One is point in time and other is over time. See, you are doing revision. You have done not taken normal classes. Please, you know, for overtime, there are 3 special cases. For overtime, there are 3 special cases. Hope you remember. The first one was if you are providing anything and customer is getting benefit simultaneously, immediately, right? Like teaching, right? So in that case, you book overtime. And there was one more point that you are building an asset. And the moment you build that asset, that gradually comes under the control of that customer. Remember? And the example was construction on customer plot. Remember? So again, there were 3 points for overtime revenue booking. And if you can't meet these 3 points, then you go to point in time. And what happens normally in point in time, look at me, in point in time, you just give the product to customer and then you say goodbye. That means you are not liable for anything in future. I have made a very good video in last 6 months. If you have seen, I posted on LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere. Accounting for iPhone. It's in Urdu, Hindi language, not in English language, but accounting for iPhone. And yes, I have given a slight touch in my normal lecture as well. You know what I told you just right now, that in point in time, what you do, you deliver product to customer, you deliver product or anything to customer, and then you say goodbye. That means you don't provide any future services. Okay. But you know, when Apple company, listen to me, when Apple company sells you iPhone, so this iPhone is not just a physical product. It's not a physical product. The real thing is iOS, the software. The software is the heart. The real thing is iOS. We all know. So Apple company is responsible for future iOS update with time, because Apple has a competition with Samsung and all other service provider. So with respect to time, they update. That means when Apple company sells you the phone, Apple company is responsible for the future updates. So that means Apple company has to do something in future. So what they do, whatever price you pay to Apple company, they distribute in two things. First thing is their phone, and the second thing is the software, and they book the revenue of software over 24 months. This is written in their financial statement. And this is a very technical issue. Even such issues may be asked in the exam. This is a practical paper, I told you. Okay. So just stage 2 and stage 5 knowledge is more than enough for this part. Okay. Let's do first the IFRS 15 part, and then we'll be touching the ethics area. Ethics area is very simple. You will, the real life issues, what we all do. Now, Jesse company, be confident. Jesse company operates in the oil and gas industry. The current financial year for Jesse, this is our company, okay? 31st December X7. The following exhibits available on the left-hand side of the screen provided the relevant information. Granting license, describe the process of granting license to customers, ethical issues, and all these. Now, this is the first part. I have already typed for you this question, okay? It's for this screen, suitable for this screen. Listen. Jesse company provides services to customers to help them evaluate whether there are potential oil reserves in a particular geographical location. Now, quickly, let's make it the real life scenario. You know, oil companies like Shell, like ExxonMobil, different companies, oil, you have heard about it. Normally, they do 3 things. They extract oil, extraction. They first extract oil, then they refine it, and then finally they sell it. OMCs, oil margin companies or oil marketing companies. Okay, like if I give example, in Pakistan, OMCs are PSO, Shell, they are, right? And in Pakistan, Shell only does this last stage. But worldwide, in many countries, Shell is involved in all three stages. Shell is involved in all three stages. Shell is a Netherlands-based company. Hope you know this. Now, this question is about this stage, extraction. Listen to me. So these oil extraction companies, they need to extract oil from the land, right? So what they do, if just first listen the historic view. They used to go in different sites and they start digging, but this involves a lot of cost. So when they do a lot of digging, so out of 10, 15, 20 sites, only one site they get the oil. So that means there is a huge loss. So now in this technological world, there are companies who give services to extraction companies. They do research for you, and then they give you green signal. Yes, there is an oil there. Go and extract. So that means Jesse company is giving services to Shell. You can think like that. Jesse company is giving service to oil extraction companies for these research and license, right? Okay, make up your mind. Now, Jesse company provides services to customers to help them evaluate whether there are potential oil reserves in a particular geographical location. Customers generally enter into contract before the survey process commences, and eventually purchase license to search for oil deposit. That means we are going to sell the license. Jesse company will going to sell the license to their customers like oil extraction companies. Okay. Now there are two phases. The first phase is service phase, and the second phase is granting license. Now start making up your mind. Listen. In this question, we need to take the decision whether these two, this one and this two, whether these two are separate performance obligation or they are single performance obligation. Whether these two are separate performance obligation or they are single performance obligation, this is the major decision. And secondly, you need to, so this is stage 2. And secondly, we need to tell them about when to book the revenue, which is the stage 5. Okay. So there are two stages. The first stage, during the service phase, Jesse company collects site data over the first year of the contract. Okay. Then processes and analyzes the data over the next 6 months. Okay. That means Jesse company is working for the customer. The area surveyed is determined by Jesse company, who is the only decision maker and the owner of both data and the land being surveyed. That means everything is under control of Jesse. All of the data is made available to customers in the final survey report. Now, customers cannot process the data or obtain a license other than by Jesse company approval. This is very important line. This is the key line. This is the decision-making line. See, customer, although we are providing data gradually, just imagine we are doing the research and we meet customers after every 6 months or so, and then we deliver the data to them. But still, that data is of no use to customer. That data is of no use. See, customer cannot process the data or obtain the license, and customer cannot go away. There is a legal contract. There is a legal binding contract. Customer cannot run away. Only we can give the license. Now, what does it mean? It means, see, this condition is not met. See, this can be benefited separately. That means customer cannot get the benefit of this service separately. Customer cannot get the benefit of this service separately. That means, don't sleep. This is not a distinct performance obligation. This is not a separate performance obligation. Okay. This is a very important point, decision-making point. Now, The value, again, one more point, the value of the customer is in the granting of the license, not in the data. One more point. That means the data is not useful. The real thing is final license. Okay. So that means this service is just helping hand. This service is just helping hand for the final license. So according to this, till now, I am of the opinion that this is not a separate performance obligation, because why? It is not benefited separately. It is not benefited separately. Okay. Now, as data is being collected and processed, presentations and reports are given to customers to indicate the potential of an area. Customers have ongoing access to data during collection and processing. When final report is made available, the customer decide whether to invest in that area. Okay, it's not an issue. They will pay us our duty, whatever service we are providing, but then it's their final decision to go or withdraw, to go in that site or withdraw, right? But till now, what our mind says that it's not a separate performance obligation, right? Okay. Although we are giving the data, but that data is of no use because of the legal contract, and because we are the sole provider of license in that case. Now, no, because it is written, they can't see. This is the answer. This is the answer. And one more answer in the next para, first line. The customer can exit the contract on receipt of the report, but the total price of the contract, including the price of the fine, is still payable to Jesse company. What does it mean? It means customer practically it cannot run away. If you give the data to customer, and if he wants to withdraw, he said, I don't want to continue, still customer has to pay the full amount. So when customer has to pay the full amount, customer will get the service still, and customer cannot practically run away. Right? That means this thing is not possible. I give you one example. Hope you guys are doing professional paper of financial reporting. You have done the previous FR paper. Like 15 years back or some, I read one past paper in F7 that is about consignment inventory. Listen. Let us say I shipped some goods to UK. I'm in Pakistan and I shipped some goods to UK, and there is a high shipping cost. For example, £100 is the value of product and the shipping cost is £150. Okay, right? And I collected £250 from customer, let us say. Now what happens? Customer said, I want to return. I said, okay, return it, but all the shipment cost of return you need to bear. So now what will happen? The shipment cost is £150 and the product itself is £100. So technically customer won't accept this. Customer say, oh, leave it. Are you getting my point? So same is the case here, that if with that data customer says, no, I don't want to continue, still they have to pay full amount. So that means everybody continues. That in practice, say they have read, in practice, no customer, see that it is written clearly. See the second line of the next paragraph. In practice, no customer leaves the contract at this stage, because every complete amount they have to pay. The license is granted at this stage, and once the license has been granted, there is no one more point. There is no further analysis or services provided to the customer. Stage 5. Stage 5. This shows that we need to book revenue point in time. Point in time. I just gave you the example of Apple company. Normally, when you are providing certain things to customer and you are saying you are providing certain things to customer, and then you are saying no more obligations, no more services. So it's point in time. Also, one more point I can tell you. You know, there are two things: overtime and point in time. Okay, listen to me. In overtime, there are three conditions. Hope you remember. In overtime, there were 3 points. Do you guys remember? The first point was you are providing a service in which customer gets continuous benefit. This is not the case. Because customer is not getting benefit from the data, customer can only get benefit from final license. Customer can only get benefit from final license, not the ongoing continuing data. It is written. See this. So no more overtime. Number two, second point. If you are constructing anything and that things comes under the control of the customer, once again, this point is also not satisfied because customer is not getting any benefit during the lifetime stage. They are only getting benefit in the end. So if you see, listen to me, the substance of the transaction, so the customer will get the final benefit in the end when the customer will get the license. So point in time is the appropriate way. Of booking the revenue. Now, wait. This happens many times in SBR past papers, even the previous past papers. Sometimes they tell the director give a certain accounting treatment and it is wrong. So you need to challenge it. But sometimes it happens that the correct treatment is written in the question. Sometimes it happens that the correct treatment is written in the question. So you need to build up the case. And in the end, you said, yes, the treatment is correct. Okay, both things are possible. Now read the next paragraph. The directors of Jesse company concluded that the company has only one performance obligation, being the granting of license at the end of the survey. This is correct. Yes. This is because the collection and processing of the data is a component of granting of the license and cannot be distinguished from the license. Yes, they are one. In addition, the service phase alone is of no benefit on its own. Yes, the final license provided to the customer is based upon the data collected and processed during the service phase. So it is possible sometime they give you correct treatment in the question, so you just need to affirm them. Yes, you are perfect. So don't always make this perception that the treatment given in the question is wrong. Are you getting my point? Now wait, let me show you the requirement first. This is our first part of the question. Wait. Discuss whether the revenue of the service phase and the grant of license to a customer are separate performance obligations or single performance obligation. This is stage 5. Sorry, stage 2. This is stage 2. Now wait. Whether the revenue should be recognized at a point in time in accordance with IFRS 15 from, this is the stage 5. So this is all about stage 2 and stage 5 as I have given you already. I have already told you. Now, how much did you get it? Please tell me. How much did you get it? Write in the chat box, please. Write in the chat box. Then I'll show you how to write. Okay, my dear students, listen. Be practical. Don't live in fantasy. When you go in exams, I have told you in many times, write Try to write in points. Try to write in points. So I have made a very simple solution, a student level solution. I would say student level solution, right? Like in points. When you write in points, it is easier for examiner to give you marks. Okay. So already we have, yes, bullet points. Yes, bullet points you can write. So already you have understood it. Now just I'm just walking through what I have written it so that you can understand it right from this point. Okay. This thing I will also explain in the exam. Now see this, and don't take tension, please. IFRS 15 require revenue to be recorded when the performance obligation is fulfilled. This is very basic statement. Performance obligation is fulfilled. Yes. When this is about stage 5. This can be bundled of goods services or distinct of goods services. Yes. There can be different performance obligation and there can be single performance obligation. But again, revenue booking is dependent when performance obligation is satisfied. When performance obligation is satisfied, okay, is fulfilled. And you know, this is basically, it is written in many books in the articles. This is the application of substance over form. This is the application of substance over form. Don't forget this concept. This is very important concept. You know, you guys are doing a theoretical paper, so you have a good vocabulary bank to discuss, right? Like, wait, let me give you one example. Let one example click me. For example, customer gave me order to deliver the goods. Now, first of all, customer gave me advance. Then I produced the goods. Then I delivered the goods. And then customer paid me balance. Now you tell me when I should book the revenue. When I should book the revenue, tell me. Write in the chat box, come on. When should I? Yes, excellent. No, yes, good. When goods are delivered. Why? Did you listen my words? Customer ordered me goods. That means customer want delivery. So that means the real performance was delivery. So the moment I will deliver it, the performance obligation is satisfied. Okay. So this is the basic thing, you know, you guys know that. And many of you replied correctly. Now, for a good or service to be distinct, this is about stage 2 now. It's purely stage 2. Either the customer can benefit from goods or services on its own or all together with other resources readily available. Now, wait. This 1.5 line means benefited separately. Or entity promised to provide the goods or services to the customer, which is separately identifiable from other promises or contract. Yes, it means supplied separately. It is written in the contract that we will give you this separately. Okay. So these are the conditions which I have just told you using 2 arrows, right? Now, if goods or services cannot be distinct, this will need to be combined with other promised goods or services until it becomes distinct together, bundled together. Yes. If they are not distinct, then you need to combine it. If they are not distinct, then you need to combine it, and then they will be treated as a single performance obligation. This is what we have discussed, and this is what we have discussed in the class. If goods or services to the customer cannot be separately identifiable. Yes, today I discussed you. Today I told you this. Sometimes, yes, we are providing multiple things, but they are not separately identifiable. So again, you need to combine it. These will be combined with other goods or services. In fact, will only be treated as inputs to the combined items. Yes, they are just helping each other. They are interconnected. Okay. Now, this is the application. This is the application point. The final license does not provide evidence to be distinct from other performance obligations since the license and data are highly interdependent and interrelated. Without the data, the license will be of no value and little relevance. That means these two are connected. Data is helping for the final license. So they are treated as one. They are treated as one. And if somebody thinks that data is a separate performance obligation, no, because alone data is not providing any benefit to customer. Alone data is not providing any benefit to the customer, right? Okay. You remember this point? Customer cannot run away with the data. He has to pay complete amount, right? Okay. Now, revenue should be recorded. Revenue should be recorded at point of time when the license is granted and as a single performance obligation, Why? Because the customer will finally get the benefit from license, not the data alone, right? Okay. And one more thing with this point you can write. One more thing, if you want to write extra, that why we are booking point in time. Why are we going to book revenue point in time? Because once we'll deliver the license, once we'll give the license, there is no more further obligations for Jesse company to deliver, right? That's why point in time. The customer of Jesse company comprises of combined goods or services pertaining to survey data, processing and granting of license. These are not separate obligations, but are inputs to a combined item. Basically, they were the data, the processing, the meetings, the delivery of the reports. They all were the part of this whole channel. That's why they will be treated as single. Right? Okay. Now, I would say one thing. Listen to me very carefully. I know, be practical, be like a common man who goes in the exam with tension. So a common man, in my eyes, a common man should write at least about these two, because these two things have been tested many times in SBR. These two things even you have covered in your FR paper. In your previous paper, F7 level paper, you have also discussed these things. So at least you should write these two. And to be very honest, on the basis of these two, still you can take the decision, because there was a clear hint in the question that the alone data is of no use. That means you can raise the point of benefited separately, that the customer is not getting benefit of data alone. Although there are some students who cannot write about the inputs, interrelation, or something like that, but still they can give the correct answer of this question. Okay. So always give a try. And you know, this thing will come with the practice. Practice of past papers. This last month, especially last 30 days, is all about past papers. To be very honest, last 30 days is about past papers and articles reading. Now, one question somebody asked, wait, let me check. Wait. Do we need to mention which stage? Yes, it's better. Somebody asked a question. Yes, it's better if you write the stage. If you write the stage, it comes in the clear communication. But if you are not sure about the stage, just like according to IFRS, same. There is one more question. Do we need to write the number of IFRS? Yes, if you write, it's better. Yes, if you write, it's very good. It's excellent if you write the number. But if you're not sure about the number of the IFRS, don't write the wrong number. Write according to IFRS, according to International Financial Reporting Standard. That is also fine. That is also fine. Okay, right? For professional marks, it's all about the flow of sentences, how you carry, how you put things, how you do introduction, how you do state the rule, how you write the rule, how you write the standard, how you write the application, how you create your building. But there is a good news that in other professional papers, it's 20 marks. You have still a very, very less amount of marks, very, very little marks. So it's a good news for you, but still use proper English, use proper sentences, use proper vocabulary. Yes, in professional language, you know, sometimes it happens. Even I have made one video of interview blunders. It's excellent video. You guys should watch it. It's in Urdu Hindi language, in interview blunders. So during interview, if you use inappropriate language, that is also considered against professional behavior. If you use inappropriate words, I can't use it right now. Okay, so that also considered. So that means the vocabulary should also be good, right? Now we are moving towards the easiest part. We have covered the difficult part. Yes, excellent. One more question. Sir, can we give headings? Yes, it's excellent if you give headings. Heading, sentence, heading, sentence, heading, sentence. That approach is also equally valid. But if you don't give headings and you just write in points, still it's better. But it is highly recommended to write in points so that it would be easier for marker to mark. Okay. Now let's discuss about this ethical issue. And you know, I always say that ACCA makes you ready for the practical life. And see, this issue in last 3-4 years I have seen in my students as well. Those who are working after ACCA, this is the real life issue which is faced. Let's see, you know, nowadays this is very common that only IFRS or only chartered accountancy is not enough to be successful. You know this. You must have equal knowledge of IT as well. Like you must have data analytics knowledge, Power BI. There are other softwares. If somebody wants to take break, he can take, because I'm recording this class. I'll send you the recording. Don't worry. The class is being recorded. If somebody wants to take break, he can, no issue. Now, my dear students, respected students, listen to me. Nowadays, just the chartered accountancy alone is not enough. You all know. So you must have equal knowledge of data analytics. You must have knowledge of Power BI, the other softwares. I forgot few names. So that with the IT skills and with SAP, yes, with the IT skills and with this ACCA skills, the combined product is excellent. There are people in the market, they are very good in IT, but they have low knowledge of finance. There are people in the market that have high knowledge of IFRS, but low knowledge of IT. So again, this is the problem. So you can't interact. Obviously, you can't interact with IT specialists. If you don't have that knowledge, you can't interact with the IT specialist. Okay. So this is a very real problem of the lives. And this is discussed in this question. And just think, if I'm the head of the department and our company is providing IT services linked with finance, like we call it fintech. This is a lot of startups everywhere in the world with this fintech, financial technology, fintech. So obviously, see, these are the fintech means financial plus tech. And I'm the CFO or the CEO of the organization. And if I only know financial, then again, I'm not enough. I can't process things. I can't take decisions properly. And this is not good for the whole organization, right? Now, Jesse company uses big data analytics and various algorithms in order to indicate the potential of findings of oil in particular geographical locations. It's very normal. They use technology. They use technological things to check whether there is oil or not. The chief data officer understands the science and statistics, yes, and can explain outcomes simply and clearly to customers. The finance director, Mr. Betso. Now the whole scenario is about Mr. Betso. Okay, this question will revolve, this ethical side will revolve around Mr. Betso, who is ACCA qualified. That means ACCA ethical code of conduct he has to apply. Has little knowledge. See, no more core competency, no more competency in that, little knowledge of the technology involved. He feels that the technology used is too complex. So what? Why you are doing this job? And there is no need for him to understand it as the chief data officer understands it. The chief data officer reports to the finance director. That means he's senior. He is senior than that chief data officer. So now just think, when this data officer will bring the data to him, will he understand things? No. So this is not good for the whole company. This is not good for the whole company. So here, what we would suggest, that this he doesn't have due care and proper knowledge of this, proper knowledge of this area. So he needs training. In the second paragraph, which when we'll give him advice, so we will say he needs training. Okay. And also there is a big question mark on the policy, on the hiring policy of the company as well, that how did the company hire, what are the policies of this company? What are the policies? The policies are very weak, that this guy is on such a senior position without the proper knowledge. Okay. Now, recently, the outcome of one set of data showed that there was a little chance of oil being found on one of the sites, but the finance director insisted that the data was run again to include historical data, which would then indicate a more favorable self-interest outcome for a customer or your company. So here, see, these are real life issues, misguiding customer. So you need to write about it. You need there is a self-interest, because he just wants to sell the license. He just wants to increase the profit of the company, right? He's not thinking about the customer. That means it's lacking integrity. Excellent. Lacking integrity. So he's basically misguiding the customer. This will even hit the goodwill of the company, overall goodwill of the company, because they are guiding customers that there are oil reserves. But when the customer will start digging, and when the customer will incur such a big cost, there will be a loss to customer. Which will damage ultimately the overall goodwill of the organization, which will ultimately hit the overall goodwill of the organization. Now the next thing, Mr. Betso has a friend, Miss Stylo, who works as the accountant at Oleo company. Now, listen. They were selling the license to Oleo company, right? They were selling the license to Oleo company. And Miss Stylo, the friend of Mr. Betso, working in Oleo, right? Miss Stylo has asked Mr. Betso for advice as how to account for the license granted to Oleo company. Mr. Betso suggested that Miss Stylo uses IFRS 16. Yes, correct. It should be IS 38. These license comes under IS 38. IFRS 16 specifically excludes such certain licenses. So once again, not only his technological skills are weak, but also his IFRS skills are weak. And this is the problem of lot of finance directors and CFO. This is the real problem. When you go in the companies, listen, there was a time I used to do corporate training. Like in 2014 in a multinational. So I still remember there were a lot of trainees, fresh chartered accountants. half ACCA qualified, like ACCA Part 2 qualified guys, and there were some senior directors as well. So they all used to sit in one room. And after that class, I used to sit in the director room and we used to do chit chat and all. So after 1 month training, I came to the conclusion that the finance director, the head of the most superlative was he didn't know anything about IFRS. He didn't know anything about IFRS. Yes, the juniors were all excellent. And this is the real practical issue with all many companies. But yes, still that director is making millions. Why? Because of the contact, because he knows how to deal, how to bring the revenue to the organization, and how to take work from the kids. But still, yes, leadership skills, but still this is not good. Seniors also must know about at least moderate knowledge. Seniors must also have moderate knowledge of IFRS. See, this is wrong, right? So once again, due care and professional competence is not there. In addition, Mr. Betso knew that Ms. Stylo held shares in Oleo company and suggested her that the share price of Oleo company was likely to fall because there was a little chance of oil being found as a result of granting the license. Two issues. Yes, number one, confidentiality. This was a confidential information. Why did you share? Number two, this is the case of insider dealing. It's illegal. It's illegal and unethical. And also there is a familiarity threat. One student raised this issue. So just think, the issue of confidentiality is there. The issue of inside, it's illegal. So all these issues you need to raise. Raise, and then finally you need to give advice. How to deal with it, how to safeguard it. Okay, right? So once again, see, this is a continuous part of your course. Listen, this ethics area is like 10 marks, 8 marks, or I would say 10 marks. It's normal part of your course. Just think. So you can easily score it. And yes, students score it, although they cry a lot. Although in the last month, it is the routine pattern that they cry, but they clear it. I've showed you the marks, right? So now once again, wait. How much you can write on this? Tell me. How much you can write on this? One student is asking, why did the students cry? Because of the fear of this paper. Okay, so you need to discuss all. Now first read the requirement. The most expensive thing, or as always, is the requirement C. Explain the ethical issues. You need to raise all the issues, right? For the finance director, Mr. Betso, setting out how the issues may be resolved. See, this is the second part, how the issues may be resolved. This is the second part, but obviously the first part is lengthy part. The first part you can write more. You can write more on the first part. You can write more on the first part. Okay, right? So let me walk through with you guys. Be confident, please. See, firstly, there could be lack of professional competency and due care. We all, in two areas, we can object this. With the technical skills, remember, technical skills, technology skills, and then IFRS skills as well. BETSO may not have the relevant skills and experience to carry out the role of the finance director. The fact he suggested to apply IFRS 16 to explore for oil is red flag, when clearly IFRS 16 exclude licenses from the nature of its scope. It lies in IS 38. It lies in IS 38. So that means this finance director does not even know the scope of the IFRS. Scope of the IFRS. This is a very basic thing. There seems to be lack of professional behavior because BETSO has provided the advice without even assessing the nature and the scope of the situation. As a result, BETSO appears to have lack of expertise, knowledge in many areas which could impact the company as a whole. Yes, the technology side as well as the IFRS side, both, right? There appears to be a breach of confidentiality. Yes, you know, he told that thing to friend. Remember about the share price and all. Because BETSO has manipulated data to produce report for oil company to report more favorable outcome, and this has been reported to his friend Stylo, which will impact the share price, which will impact. This is clear indication of insider dealing. Yes, BETSO is giving unfair advantage to his friend over the rest of the market, which is clearly unethical and breach of ACCA professional code and values. You know why insider dealing is illegal? You tell me. Because when you give insider information, you just benefit one party and the whole market suffers. All other people suffers. That's why it's illegal, it's unethical, and it's not allowed in religion as well. Whatever you earn, it's all wrong money, right? Okay, because ultimately you are doing bad with the rest of the people. Now, being the finance director, BETSO needs to understand technology in order to ensure the company strategies are in line with the vision, values, and culture. There is a clear accountability from BETSO side as well. Obviously, just think, when you don't know about technology and your subordinate are reporting technological things to you, how will you take decision? What is the accountability? Just think. There is a clear indication of self-interest set because BETSO has stated that data is run with the historic data. Remember the customer issue. They are going to manipulate customers the wrong information, which would result in more favorable outcome for a customer. There is clearly unethical. This is clearly unethical to use this data for customer decision making and breach in customer trust and values. Right? Okay, so first of all, you need to raise these ethical issues. Right? Then finally you need to advise them. What are the advices? You know, in my lectures, I have given you some certain, yes, 1 point, very good point raised. Certain points, safeguards to you guys. Hope you remember, it's written in your course. BETSO should contact ACCA, the professional body, for guidance. Yes, he should approach the colleagues with whom he can discuss his position and seek professional advice. Yes, he should consider involving board of directors in the resolution process, right? Like, listen, sometimes when you are alone, I'm talking about the technology thing. When you are alone head, listen to me. This is a very real life solution of this problem. Many companies follow this. See, firing people is not the only solution. Let me give you one practical example. I can't quote you the name definitely, there was a very senior person in a company, senior person, like top five of that company. He was not technically sound, like he had some technical issues because of old age as well, old age, and he was old school person. He studied like IFRS 20 years back, and now things are changed. So old school guy, very experienced, not technically strong, but yes, lot of relationship in the whole market, lot extraordinary networking relationship in the market. So now the company did not fire him for this technical issues. Why? Because he was the face of the company. He used to connect company with a lot of people, with banks. If company needs a big finance, through relationship he can arrange. He can convince many customers to come to a company. So that's why what company does in that case, company also hires parallel people. Like on his position, there is a combined group, like 2 or 3 directors on the same position, though they can handle the technological issue. So if he's the alone finance director, there is one solution. If this guy is very important for company can make a bench for this, and in that case the combined board can take the decision of this technological issues, right? This is also one of the solution, practical solution. Now listen to me one thing. Listen to me. It's not always in SBR level paper. It's not always the examiner's solution which is perfect. There is a possibility that you can write certain points of your own which you can think, right? Okay. Hope you remember this very famous dialogue. I write this dialogue in my orientation. Let me write. If you are right, you are right. But if you are wrong, still you will get marks. If you give logic, if you prove your point of view, that this is my point of view and these are the basis of my point of view, still you will get marks, good marks. And you know, I told you one thing, because you guys are not watching the classes, you are busy with Netflix and Amazon Prime and the other applications. I know they are very attractive. I'm not that much attractive actor. They are definitely using high-tech cameras and high-tech technologies, makeup and all. We are not that much. So that's why, what thing came in mind? Sorry. Yes. Headroom issue. What is headroom issue? Can anybody tell me? What is headroom? What is headroom? Yes, good. There are two interpretations, and you know, different teachers of UK, they have different opinions. They are some of my friends. I routinely discuss this issue. The first interpretation is marks. Like there is a 10 marks question. The maximum marks of that part is 10 marks, but examiner will start checking it with 14 marks. Examiner will start checking that question with 14 marks in the mind. So if you have done 4 marks wrong, so still you will get 10 marks. Still you will be getting 10 marks. Still you will be getting 10 marks. So that means there is a relaxation. And you know, in ICAEW, I still remember, in ICAEW, when they give a very difficult paper, so what they do, for a 10-mark question, they start checking with 25 marks. or 20 marks, such a big headroom, such a big headroom. It happened in ICAEW few papers. They were very difficult. Now, second thing, listen, the first interpretation of headroom is these marks. And the second interpretation, which is perfect interpretation, agreed by all teachers, means multiple solutions allowed. Multiple solutions allowed with argument. Solutions allowed. Multiple solutions allowed. This is one of the interpretation. This is one of the interpretation of headroom as well. This is one of the interpretation of headroom as well. That's why you know the pass rate is good. That's why the pass rate is good. This is the reason. Okay. Now, listen. Document the series of discussion held, who was involved, and reasons for decisions which were made. Okay. So this is also normally the minutes of the meetings, and the documentation should be perfect. If you want to save yourself from any legal issues or any unethical issues, you must document things. You must document things. And you know, listen, this is the practical problem with small organization or what we call unlisted companies. In Pakistan, there are a lot of such companies. In Urdu language, we call it Setia organization, right? So there are informal organizations, they don't keep proper documentation. They don't keep proper documentation, and this thing can catch you. This thing can catch you, right? Okay, so it's better you keep proper documentation of each and everything. Undertake training. Yes, this was the best advice. In the starting, I told you, refreshment course to maintain professional behavior and follow code of ethics as per ACCA. Yes, you know, I teach many professional, like there are people, those who did their chartered accountancy in 2010, and now they take IFRS course. This is very routine. This is very routine thing of the market. It's a big routine task. The way I teach SBR, the way same number of students or same number of crowd studies the IFRS, they revise IFRS. This is the basic thing. Now, undertake training. Yes, and they also take the CPD. You know, they have to do this CPDRs. This is the requirement of membership. So they take the certificate from us, from our institute. When they attend the course, they ask me for the certificate. So I sometimes give the certificate as well. Undertaking training course to stay up to date with the change of IFRS and accounting regulations standard. So one training is for the code of ethics and technology, and the other is for IFRS. Disclose any sensitive information and terms held, example terms with stylo. So you need to disclose with the board if you have already disclosed something with the stylo, so you should inform this issue. You should inform this issue. So these are the actions. I have written many. If you write like 5, that's also more than enough. It's almost, I think, 7. If you write 5 of them, still they are enough. Okay. So I would say, yes, you can write these points. You can use these points, no issue. I would say that now you guys should work on past papers and avail the marking facility, because I've seen not all students avail the marking facility. Not all students avail the marking facility. That's their problem. They don't even do the mock. So I will be sending you the mock exam, and I will be sending you the I've already given you the email ID for the marking facility. So first of all, start doing separate questions of past papers, and send me, right? And then I'll mark them. And don't do like this, that send 4 questions together. No, that's not a good approach. First, send 1 question, take the feedback, and now apply that feedback on the second question. Then send second question. Then gradually you will improve. This is not a right way that you start away, you send 4 questions. Now, how will you send the next question? So better follow an order. So you can send the separate questions as well, and please do send. It's your last month now. It's your last month, and I know you guys can clear it. You guys can do it. And then also solve the mock exam. One mock exam I will send you, as usual. I'll send you and we'll mark that mock as well. So do solve that mock on proper exam software. And it's in SBR, it's only typing. It's only typing, nothing else. So it's better you do typing. If your typing is slow, so it's better, it's highly recommended you do type. Although I don't type, because it's not my objective to teach you typing. It's not my job basically to teach you typing. You guys have to practice the typing. So solve my mock as well as do solve some mock, means some pick up the past papers, complete past papers, and turn on the timer and solve it yourself. So few past papers, complete past papers, you should also try. Okay, in order to manage the time, to manage the issue of time management. You know what you guys do? You solve one question and then you go for a break. You go for tea or everything, and then you come back after an hour. So this is not the exam pattern. In exams, you have to beat these 4 wrestlers in one go, 4 questions. So it's better you try at least 3 mock exam you should try, right? And one you should send me for marking, that the new one, the unseen one, the unseen mock you need to send me for marking. And I will send you that mock in the last days. I will send you, especially I'll send you the mock in the last days so that you can send in the end. Okay, right? And be active in that WhatsApp group. I will send certain things in the WhatsApp group and I'll give you some instructions. So do follow those instructions and don't waste the time. And it's my prayers that you all can clear this paper in this attempt. And inshallah you can. It's not an abnormal wish. It's controllable. It's achievable wish. Okay. And first target is 50 marks. First target is 50 marks. Just think, if you do, if they give you half marks, still you are clear. In fact, many students score in 60s, 70s, and you guys will also score, but the first target is 50 marks. So it's time to sign off, and let's hope for the best and stay in touch on the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Take care.